Hi everyone, it's Lisa Mears here, and today I'm sharing the Stamps of Life Club products for May of 2023. In this video, you'll see an unboxing of the club items as well as my design process for the cards that I made with these items. The club items this month feature flowers, which are perfect for cards for all occasions, such as birthday cards, friendship cards, Mother's Day cards, hello cards, sympathy cards, and so much more. So starting out, let's take a look at the Stamp and Die Hard Club set for May, and this set is called Posies2Stamp. This set has 4 flowers, a leaf, and several sentiments such as where flowers bloom, there is hope, keep on growing, enjoy, you are a fabulous friend, you are one of a kind, with love and best wishes, and hey. And if you're a member of the Stamp Club, you will get the stamp set, and if you're a member of the Die Hard Club, you will receive both the stamp set and the coordinating dies. So now let's take a look at the card kit for the month of May. This card kit is called So Kind, and here's your inspiration card with 3 card ideas for you. And with every card kit, you get a large plastic storage envelope. You can store your cardstock sheets in here or even your card kit contents. You also get a pack of envelopes for A2 size cards. And there are also some cardstock sheets, so I'll go ahead and pull these out of the plastic and let's take a look at the cardstock colors that you'll receive in your kit. So this kit features Ocean, and you get 2 sheets of the Ocean cardstock. There are also 2 sheets of the Kiwi cardstock. There's 1 sheet of the Green Apple. There are 2 sheets of Pixie cardstock, which is light purple, 1 sheet of Licorice, and 4 sheets of the Powdered Sugar. So that's your black and your white cardstock. You also get a paper pad, and again, this is the So Kind paper pad. So I'll go ahead and flip through here so you can see all of the beautiful papers. The flowers in this pattern paper are the same flowers that you'll find in the stamp set. So you can see there are some beautiful purples and pinks in this collection, and there's also 2 sheets of the flowers that you can cut out using the matching dies. So if you are a member of the Die Hard Club, you have your dies to cut these flowers out of the pattern paper, as well as the leaves. And then this particular die will cut out the smaller flowers in this paper. And of course, if you do not belong to the Die Hard Club, you can always use your scissors and just cut these flowers out of the paper pad. And again, you get 2 sheets of those. So let's go ahead and continue flipping through. Here is the So Kind paper, so in all the different colors, and then some more flowers. I love all these beautiful pinks. They're so pretty. So some purple paper with the white flowers, and then here are some smaller posies. Here's the ocean color, and there's also some blacks in this paper pad, which is really nice. It's a solid purple, and then we have the green color, and then here's the word So Kind again, but in a smaller print. Some more blacks and some smaller flowers. There's also some pinks, and I love that pink with the colorful polka dots. That's really nice. And again, some more purple flowers, and then some more black and white prints. And those black and white prints look really sharp against the pink cardstock. I do make a few cards with the black and the pink. I love that color combination together. So in this card kit, you also get an A1 flower folded die set. So this will make a shaped card, so a card shaped just like a flower, just like you see here, and I will make a card using this die set today. And an A1 size card is one that measures approximately 3.5 by 5 inches. There's also a sheet of flower puffy stickers, as well as some pearls in the ocean color. There's also a sheet of button stickers. And there's also a small pack of black paper clips, and these actually have words on them. They're very unique. I love these. The words on them say love, hello, thanks, and hooray. There's a word die that says So Kind. This is the same font that is in the paper pad, so the sheet that had the words on it, it's the same exact font. There's also another word die, and this one says, "You are the best." There's also a white ribbon in the kit. And this month there is a pack of freebie dies that were included, and I received the polar bear dies, which has a present and some winter hats, as well as a butterfly die. And from what I understand, everybody that has a card kit subscription will get different freebies in their card kit, and that's just a gesture of kindness from the Stamps of Life to their card kit members. And receiving freebies is just one perk of being a club member. There are so many more perks to being a club member, which you can see over on their website by clicking the link in the description box below. There is also one other club that the Stamps of Life has, which is the Fold It Club. The Fold It Club consists of a die set that enables you to make a shaped card and also comes with some stencils that match the theme of the Fold It. This month's Fold It Club is a camper fold it, and I previously released a video showing how I made this card. I'll link that video at the top right corner of this video and in the description box below in case you're interested in watching it. I will also have links to the Stamps of Life clubs in the description box of this video and on my blog, just in case you're interested in joining the club or even upgrading your membership. I'm always thankful and appreciative when you use my links, because not only will I receive a small commission at no cost to you, it also tells the Stamps of Life that I referred you, and you'll get 500 bonus club points to spend in the Stamps of Life store. You can also use my promo code to sign up, which is Lisa Mears. So let's go ahead and make some cards using these club products. So first I do want to show you that the cardstock colors that are included in this paper pad, there are some others that you did not get cardstock sheets for, such as the Bubblegum, the Cherry, and the Grape cardstock. And I did have some of that cardstock in my stash, and you'll find that when you go through your pattern papers, that these colors match as well. So if you wanted to bring some of those pinks in or the darker purple, they will match perfectly for your cards as well. I did find myself using that cherry cardstock quite a bit, and the Stamps of Life does sell this cardstock on their website. So for my first card, I'm going to be using the Flower Fold It die set. And here are the different colors of cardstock as well as pattern paper that I'm bringing in. So the very largest die, I die cut out of the cherry cardstock. And then I also took the second largest die. You can see when you layer them, this second one is a little bit smaller. I die cut it out of the white cardstock. It actually gives you two parts. It gives you the flower and then the stem with the leaves. And then I also die cut the stem with the leaves again in the green apple cardstock. And the flower die, I die cut out of this purple pattern paper. And then there are two leaf dies, and I die cut those out of the kiwi cardstock. And then we have the center of the flower. I die cut the circle out of white cardstock. And then when I layered the center inside of the circle, just like this, and die cut that, and I die cut that out of the cherry cardstock. So after die cutting, I'm going to take out some of the matching inks. I'm going to ink up the edges. So of the center that I die cut out of cherry, I'll ink it up with the cherry ink. And the flower that I cut out of the purple pattern paper, I'm inking up with the grape ink. I think by inking up the edges, it just adds some more interest to that cardstock. So that way it doesn't look so flat. Okay, I'm going to take out the kiwi ink and ink up the leaves. And then that's all of the inking that I'm going to do for the cardstock. Next, I'm going to go ahead and glue these pieces together. So the flower shape out of the purple pattern paper, I'm going to add that to the white flower die cut. So when you add the purple pattern paper, you can see a little bit of the white edge around it. Next, I'm going to add the leaves that have the little cutouts on them. So those will go on the larger leaf that is cut out of the darker green cardstock. So I'll add both of those, and then that entire piece I'm going to add to the cherry shadow layer. I'm going to go ahead and add the center that I die cut out of the cherry cardstock. I'm going to layer that onto the white circle, and then I'm going to add that to the flower right in the center. And then I'll add that to the cherry cardstock to complete the flower. So the white leaves that you see there on the table, I'm not going to need that piece. That piece cut out when I die cut the die out of the white cardstock. It cut the white flower as well as the leaves, so I'm just going to toss that piece. I decided I want to have a purple center, so I'm going to go ahead and take that intricate circle die and die cut a piece of that pattern paper. Just put it over the solid purple part of that pattern paper and die cut it just to get that little circle, and then I'm going to pop it back in there. You can also use a enamel dot if you want to, but I just chose to die cut the pattern paper. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I can make the actual card base. So I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, folded it in half, and next you'll just need to decide if you want this to be a top folding card or a side folding card. So if you take the largest die in that set, you can see it says place fold here, and that's at the top of that die. Those words are also on the left side of that die, so you just basically place your die over the fold in the cardstock, whether you want it to be a top folding card or a side folding card. It's up to you. I'm going to make mine a top folding card, so I'm going to place the top of my die slightly over the fold in the cardstock. And then I'm simply going to tape it down to the cardstock so that when I run this through the die cutting machine, it doesn't move around. So I'll go ahead and die cut that, and then this is my card base. Next, I'm going to add the flower to the card base. And then I decided I need to add a butterfly to this flower. So I was trying to look through some stamps to see where I had a butterfly, and there was one in the Garden Bunny to Stamp set that came out a few months ago. There's either the stamp or the die, and I decided just to die cut the butterfly die out of some gold holographic mirror paper. So I'll go ahead and add glue to the back of that butterfly and add it to my card. I'll use the ribbon that came in the kit and just wrap the white ribbon around the stem and tie it in a bow. So I'll go ahead and adjust that bow and then just snip off the ends. And then I'm going to add a sentiment. I did stamp out the sentiment with love and best wishes. This sentiment is from the Posies2Stamp stamp set, but I'm just cutting this down so that I only get the with love part of it, because I thought the sentiment was a little bit too large for what I wanted on this card. I didn't want to put anything super big because I didn't want it to cover up a whole lot of the card. So now this card is complete. Moving on, I'm going to take the sheet of posies from the pattern paper pad and die cut some of these flowers and leaves. So I'm just adding the dies and adding some of my mint tape to hold them in place, and I'll run this through my die cutting machine. So I have a piece of white cardstock as well as black with the white polka dot pattern paper. The white cardstock I cut to 4 by 5 1/4, and the pattern paper I cut to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and I'll layer those two pieces together. I also have 2 of the flowers and 2 of the leaves. I'm going to bring in some more flowers in just a minute, but I'm going to use 2 of the larger flowers. I also die cut the You Are the Best word die from the kit. So I have the shadow out of white cardstock and then the words out of the black cardstock. So I'll go ahead and glue the leaves and the flower to my card. I also took 2 sheets of the pattern paper with the flowers on it, one of the larger flowers and one of the smaller flowers, and I used my scissors to fussy cut them out of the cardstock. And I'm going to add them to the open space there at the bottom right hand corner of the card. Next, I'll go ahead and add the white shadow for the word, and then I'll add the sentiment right on top. So you can see that the you and the word best are connected, and then the words are connected by themselves, and I just added those in. I also used a piece of cherry cardstock as my card base. So my card base measures 4¼ by 5½ inches, and I'll just layer that entire card layer on top of the card base, and that will complete this card. For my next card, I have a piece of white cardstock and a piece of pattern paper. The white cardstock is 2¼ by 5½, and the purple pattern paper is 2 inches by 5½ inches. And I'm just going to layer those onto my white card base. I'm going to put the pattern paper at the opening of the card base, and then the white piece is going to go next to that. And then I'm going to bring in some of the flower die cuts. So I'll go ahead and position them where I want them. I'm going to use 3 of the larger die cuts, and then some flowers I did fussy cut from the pattern paper. I think that medium size purple one was one that I fussy cut out with my scissors, and the others I believe were all using the dies to die cut out of the pattern paper. I also took the dies that match the Posies2Stamp stamp set, and I took the leaf die and just die cut the leaves out of the green apple cardstock as well as the kiwi cardstock. And I inked the edges with the green apple ink. You can see the difference in the leaves when they're inked versus not inked. I think the inked leaves, they just add so much more depth to those die cuts. I stamped out the sentiment with love and best wishes. This time I'm going to use the whole sentiment, and I just cut that down into a rectangle shape, and I'm just positioning everything where I want it to be on my card. I haven't glued anything down yet because I just want to make sure that I have everything where I want it before I start gluing things down. So I tucked some of the leaves behind the flowers, and now I have everything the way that I want it. So I'll go ahead and start with the leaves since they're on the very bottom, and I'll glue all of the leaves down first. And once all of the leaves are glued down, I will start with the flowers that are more towards the bottom and glue those down, finishing with the flowers that are on top. I'm going to come back in with a white gel pen and just add some white accents to the leaves. And then I'm going to bring in some of my Scrapbookcom pops of color in the Bubblegum color and add a few drops of the pops of color onto the card just as some more accents. The pops of color is a liquid embellishment, so it is liquid when it goes on, but when it dries, it will dry hard. And when this is dry, it pretty much looks just like an enamel dot. So that is going to complete my card. For my next card, I'm going to bring that flower, fold it back in, but this time I'm just going to use the top part of that flower, and I'm going to use that on a card. So I die cut the die with the stem, just the top of that out of the Bubblegum cardstock, and then the flower itself out of the cherry cardstock. Again, these two pieces I brought in from my stash. I'm going to take the flower die cut piece out of the cherry cardstock and just add some cherry ink to the edges. I'm going to add the cherry piece to the top of the bubblegum piece. I took the circle and then the center piece and die cut it out of white cardstock, and I'm going to glue that to the center of the flower. If you wanted another color underneath that white center, you could always take the circle die and die cut it out of a different color cardstock. And I die cut the stem with the leaves twice out of the green apple cardstock, and this time I'm just cutting the leaves off. I don't need the actual stem, I just want the leaves. So I did it twice because I want to have 4 leaves for my flower. And then I have the layering piece that goes on top of that. I die cut out of the kiwi cardstock. And I'm just going to ink up the edges with the green apple ink. And again, I die cut 4 of those so that I can layer each one of those on top of the shadow layer. I have that black and white piece of pattern paper that I cut to 4 inches by 5¼ inches. And I also have a little piece of white cardstock that I cut to 2 inches by 1/2 inch. And I made it just big enough so that I can fit the paper clip over that. And that paper clip is going to be my sentiment. I'm going to use the paper clip that says hello on it. I also cut the end of that white piece of cardstock at a diagonal. I'm going to go ahead and add the flower to the center of the card, and I'm going to have 2 leaves on each side. So I'll glue the leaves down and then I will glue the flower right on top. For the center of my flower, I'm going to add the very small pink button sticker, and then I'll add that to a white A2 size card base. After adding it to the card base, I'm going to add the paper clip so that it's right over top of that little banner strip that I cut out of the white cardstock. And when you open the card, you'll be able to see the back of the paper clip. So if the recipient wanted to take that paper clip off and use it, they can totally do that. I'm bringing in some clear drops and I'm adding them to my card. These are some clear drops from Sunny Studio Stamps, and I just glued them down. They are clear. They look like they're white underneath because of the white glue, but once the glue dries, you can see that they are completely clear. The last thing I'll do is take a white gel pen and just add some white accent marks to this flower. So you can totally use that flower, fold it to either make a shaped card or just use the flower portion and add it to an A2 size card. For my next card, I want to bring in the stamp set and use the stamps on this last card. So I have a piece of Bristol smooth cardstock. I cut this to 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to do some stamping. So I'm going to make a pattern on this cardstock, and I'm going to start out by adding the sentiment where I want it, and then adding one of the large flowers. After I've stamped those 2 pieces down, I'm just going to put a piece of scrap printer paper underneath my cardstock because I'm going to be stamping off of the cardstock and I don't want the ink to get on the Misti platform. I took a piece of the clear packaging from one of the items from the card kit just to line up my stamp because I did not want to get ink from the stamp on my card panel. So by adding that piece of plastic between the card panel and the stamp itself, it will allow me to see where I'm lining up the stamp on my card panel without getting the ink onto the card panel until I'm ready to stamp it down. An advantage of using the plastic like I'm doing is so that I don't have to clean my stamp each time I want to stamp it down. So I'm just stamping the largest flower stamp in several different areas on my card panel to make a pattern. And I love doing this with stamps just to kind of make my own pattern paper. It's a fun way of using your stamps by just stamping them down in random areas on the stamp to create a fun pattern. And then if there's any sections that the large flower stamp will not fit, I will use the smaller flower. There's actually 2 smaller flower stamps in this set, and I'll just fill in those smaller areas with the smaller flowers. So I am stamping some of the images off of the card panel. It just looks better that way when they're stamped off of that card panel. So I'm going to stamp my last flower stamp, and now I'm ready to do some coloring. I'm bringing in my Zig Clean Color Real Brush pens, and the colors that I'm using are the purple as well as the deep violet. And I want to have a really nice shading going from the dark color to the light color. So from the center of the petal, I'm using the deep violet, and then from the edge of the petal, I'm using the purple. And after I add the color down, I take my water brush and I spread the color towards the center. So I'm just pulling from one of the colors towards the center, and between colors I'm wiping the tip of my water brush off on a paper towel. I don't want to blend the colors, I just want to bring them together so that there's a lighter color in the middle. So I'll do the same thing with this next petal by adding the color to the ends. After the color is added to the ends of the petal, I'll take my water brush and just come over the deep violet color and spread it towards the center. I rinsed my water brush off on a paper towel, and I did the same thing to the purple color. And I continue in this manner to bring it towards the center. So you can see how much lighter that color is getting towards the center. But I want to make sure that I'm rinsing my bristles off on a paper towel before I go to the next color, because I don't want to actually blend the colors together. I just want to bring them together so that it's much lighter in the middle. So for this card panel, I'm only going to be coloring the one flower, and I chose to only color the one flower because the sentiment that I chose says you are one of a kind. So I thought by having this one flower stand out from the rest, it fits perfectly with that sentiment. So if you wanted to color the whole thing, of course you can do that to make a beautiful colored background, but that's not the look that I was going for with this card. So I'll go ahead and color the rest of that flower off camera. And now that I'm finished, I'm going to go ahead and mask off the sentiment because I want to splatter on some gold onto this background. So I'm taking an ink pad. This is the Delacata Golden Glitz ink pad, and spritzing some of that ink with water. I just put some of the ink on my mat there and then just mixed it up with the water, and I'm taking the tip of a paintbrush and just flicking some of that gold onto that panel, basically just flicking it all over that panel, but not on the sentiment. So I do remove the tape off of the sentiment once I'm finished, and then I'll go ahead and add those layers together. So I'll add the stamped panel onto a piece of black cardstock. My black cardstock measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then I add that to the Pixie cardstock, and that measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I'll add that to an A2 size card base. And that will complete this card. So once again, here are the cards that I made using the Stamps of Life Club products for May of 2023. If you're interested in joining any of the clubs or want more information about the clubs, check out the links in the description box below. There's also going to be links down there for any additional supplies that I've used in my video today. So I hope you liked my cards today. I would love for you to leave me a comment and let me know which card is your favorite. And if you like videos like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss out on new videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.